What up? Oh, I should probably just turn the stream on my phone. That'd be good if I watched it at the same time.
All right.
Look who joined us, guys.
Yeah, look at that.
Hello.
How's it going, champ?
Doing great. You know.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
You very much so.
Well,
Some
thank you for having me on.
shenanigans and bullshittery and all the good stuff.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't chatted up with you guys too much in the past.
Hey, you've been busy winning big old belts.
Busy winning a lot lately.
Yeah.
A lot of matches.
Busy winning, period.
Just winning.
Winning.
But it's-
Charlie Sheening the hell out of everything.
Yeah.
That beautiful belt behind you. That's
Oh,
evidence of
yeah.
that. Look at that right there.
Look at that thing.
Oh, I've kind of stepped over there. Just trying to figure out how to get it to stay, but it's a little heavy.
Yeah.
You do whatever you have. You're the champ, man. It doesn't matter. You have the belt. You can do whatever you want to do with it.
Have you had that wears the crown, right?
Which, you know, quite honestly, I didn't even. If I asked, or if I thought, you know, try to like predict the future or forecast a couple months ago, I would definitely not think I'm here right now. You know, I for sure was not in a different position. It was the beginnings of, I guess, getting myself in check. But it's definitely still an odd to me that I even have that.
Well deserved, sir.
Like
Very much. Yeah.
Someone's asking stuff already, huh?
Yeah. Give me 2
Oh,
seconds
God.
here.
I thought it was pizza on pineapple.
D Hort's starting it up again. What's up, D?
Isn't it pizza on pineapple?
We're doing it next week. I walked myself into a situation. I have to honor the bet. You make a bet, you got to pay the man. I got to pay more than a couple people in the chat here. Next week, we're doing the pineapple pizza because I opened my mouth and the faithful made it happen with the gifted memberships. That was fantastic. Next Sunday, we're doing it. There's a pretty important fella right here, though, in the call. There's a reason why we're not sidetracking that situation for this.
Well, you know, the Hawaiian pizza actually is originated in the Northeast. So somewhere around in your area.
No wonder why a lot of the people I know like it.
Still gross.
I like it.
It's great.
I don't like pineapple, period. So never mind putting it on my pizza.
Like in short bursts, I don't mind it. Like in short bursts, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Pineapple's not too bad. Like not in a drink. I'm not really like a pina colada or any of those much like rum type drinks that have that kind of flavor in it. But in short bursts, pineapple isn't horrendous.
Yeah.
On a entire Hawaiian, that is going to be a tough go.
Yeah, it's not for me.
Tonight's interview is
That's
brought to you by
suck.
Foods and Belts. That's Foods and Belts.
That's gonna suck.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another show here on YouTube, exclusively for the first time. I am your host, Johnny Deathdrop, as always. And we got ourselves our first ever membership live chat here on YouTube. So before we get into everything and we explain everything, let's introduce the dudes that are here today. On the left, we have the one that lives way up there on the east coast of Maine, the inventor of the Beacon of the Week, the one and only Coastal Crusader.
What's up, everybody? I am back. Tuesday, no power. Thursdays are tough, but that's coming to an end soon. I will be around, but I am here tonight. And our guest, large and in charge.
On the top right, we have our resident masshole himself, the lover of pineapple pizza, the one and only
yeah.
Marky Piddens.
Oh my God, it's so good. Pineapple pizza, I cannot wait. However, open mouth, insert foot. Next week, we'll have a good time. But this week, this is going to be a big week. We get to talk to the champion. We get to talk to the man who is large and in charge, Zamore, right here. And the questions will be answered, we hope.
On the bottom left, we have our one and only Sunday Night Savior, the other Jeff.
Yeah. Good to be here with the one and only Zamore. I think he's the guy that would be pretty good on the Foods and Belts as well. So I mean, I think we could have a pretty good addition with him. This could be fun.
And yes, we will have Triple I here later on in the show, as always. I do want to shout out Bud Bellflower becoming an RMP supporter just now.
We just lock the amount of people in the call to what we have now, and Zamore will just take
Well, if you
spot.
remember right, we have a 50-50
That
shot
can
of him getting in the wrong room. he did that before, so
Yeah, the
And-
same room he's been getting into. He was getting into for a year. All of a sudden, forgot how to do it.
yeah.
And yes, our first guests on this series of members only live streams once a month, we have your reigning and defending Ignition champion, the one and only Zamore, baby. Don't knock it over. Don't knock it over.
It's gonna keep falling.
How's it going, big man?
Oh, it's going good. Like I said, I'm feeling a lot better. Didn't think I would be where I am today, but I'm blessed and I'm happy, and I'm thanking everybody who's joining chat as well. Truly makes me feel special.
All right. We're going to break it down to you real quick here. The chat right now is set up, I do believe, if I did it right, is set up as members only. So unless you are a member, you cannot interact in chat. This is one of the perks that we have on being a member.
What if you have a members only jacket?
Wait, what?
What if you ate a club sandwich?
Oh wait, Johnny might not know what that is, Marky. That might.
Just out of his age range.
Yeah, it might be.
Wait, I'm
Anyways.
having a hard time getting
No, remember that the '80s jackets when they had the little button collar? They were the members only jackets.
No. Actually, I don't. No.
If you look it up, you notice.
All right, probably. I remember the
Anyways.
projects. We were wicked poor, so like we got other stuff that we didn't get cool stuff.
I don't know if members only jackets were cool. I mean, I only wanted moon boots, but
So right now, this stream is open to the public right now. Anybody can view the stream and view the show as it happens. But in order to chat, you have to become a member. And this is what we do every month to say thank you to all the members who have paid to become a supporter here on Rocky Mountain Pro. So this is what we're doing every month, at least once a month, possibly two, depending on how many we're able to get on. And basically, this show is all for the members. We're going to ask very few questions because we also want our members who pay their hard-earned money to be able to interact with our Ignition champion. So the show is basically you guys. So anybody who is a member, you're more than welcome to ask questions in chat, and Zamore will answer them to the best of his ability, of course.
Yeah.
There is a line, so
Let's not get canceled. But other than that, good to
Right.
know.
Right? No.
So right now, we're ready to go. Dudes, if you want to start off with a question, just to get things rolling, and then I'll pay attention to chat as we go. So are you like the last member? Name that movie.
What would be the?
Gold member, I don't know.
I don't know.
See, Aiden's just older than me, so I can't figure that out. So.
There's more polite ways to say that, but
What do you mean?
He's my age. He's a day older than me. I'm like 3 years older than you, barely. I don't get the reference. Name that movie. So are you like the last member?
Got to be one of those '80s
maybe Back to the Future.
teeny movies.
That was not
or
Back to
whatever.
the Future.
Uh,
I'd have got that like that.
Yeah, it's got to be one of those.
My wife
80s,
would have
like,
too.
like Breakfast Club type movies or something.
So
Either that, or it's like one of those like early 2000s, like adult goes to high school and tries to be a kid, like Never Been Kissed or something like that. You know, like Steve Buscemi. Hey there, young people.
all right. So if any one of you dudes want to start everything off, and I'll pay attention to
ask
chat.
me anything.
Yeah. Anybody? Question?
And
Uh,
AMA with
yeah.
Zamore.
Hey,
So- I got a quick one. Just lately, we saw you kind of lose the boots and go with the more barefooted, taped up ankle style. And I trained with some guys on the weekly that don't like shoes either. They do the same thing. They kind of tape up their feet and they'll run, or they'll go out in their socks or something like that. Any specific reason? Or does it give you an advantage somehow?
Well, I
Shut
just
up.
enjoy not wearing shoes, period. So like my whole
Fair.
life, I ran around without shoes. I did as much as I could without having to wear shoes. Obviously, I had to, put them on when you have to. But with that, I feel like my feet pretty strong. And so I did have boots, and they were great and all, but like I feel like I didn't feel like I could move as freely with boots on than without. So I just went about just taping up the ankles, making that strong, and I feel a lot better without having to wear shoes for sure.
It's funny. I follow up on that a little bit. I know some people that prefer to play golf barefooted. They feel they have a better footing and better balance and better stance barefoot. I know a handful of people, and I happened to be watching the Golf Channel once, and even one of I was watching that
That's interesting.
I was watching the show that they try to teach you stuff, and one of the women on there goes, if she's having a bad round, she takes her golf shoes off and plays barefooted.
Yeah, just something about like just feeling like you have, because you have a lot of bones in your feet, and when you're wearing shoes, it kind of like fixes them into place. Yeah, and so without, I feel like I could just do certain little movements that I wouldn't be able to with boots on.
It tells me you're a lot like me too, and the base level Nikes that are like a 2x4 width, they don't work for guys like you and me. So you got to have your feet able to breathe a little bit and get the full the full surface area coverage.
Yeah, 100%. And I feel with that, I could just move slightly faster, have a little bit stronger push off when I'm jumping or doing anything involving my legs. Helps me for sure.
There was a question earlier. Did you answer the question, Zamore, on what's your opinion on pineapple on pizza?
I do like pineapple on pizza, but I'm not like the best person to get an opinion from when it comes to food, because there's like very little things I don't like.
You are the opposite of a toddler. You would eat most things.
Yeah, so when people ask if something's good, I'm always gonna say, most of the time, gonna say yes. So
Okay, let's start the list. What don't you like?
That might be easier.
Fair. Fair.
Well, I don't like liver and onions, but I feel like that's something everybody.
Yeah, that's pretty common.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Shoot, there's really not much I've encountered. Spicy food.
Oh my
I
god!
definitely cannot stomach spicy food.
Oh, I love spicy.
I wish
With
I
you
could.
on that one.
Like
I don't have a strong tummy like that.
Like I like pepper sauce flavor and things like that, but I just can't stomach the spice anymore.
They make a heck of a spicy margarita at this taco place in Denver. You should ask Triple I about it.
Yeah, that's. I feel like they find any reason to make anything spicy. Yeah, spicy drinks.
Oh, I love spicy.
I can do like wings and stuff, but I don't want the thing that's supposed to refresh my palate to be also spicy.
Yeah, spicy drink doesn't excite me. Like, it's something I would try as like more of a change up.
Don't people like pepper up Bloody Mary kind of a
Yeah,
thing?
yeah. A lot of people.
Tabasco,
Yeah,
that kind of.
yeah. That's common. I don't do Bloody Marys, but yeah, that is common.
Yeah, tomato.
Tomato.
Yeah, I'm not a tomato.
Wait, there was a rib eating contest at the Ball Arena?
Oh, damn it.
I think Lord Mitchell Taylor hijacked it, or he can you tell us though? I saw a small video about that.
I was on my way to win, and he decided to make it about himself.
All right, we got a couple questions in chat already.
Oh, that's
Okay.
We got D Hort. What made the change from Jumbo to Zamore? What was the reasoning for it, I guess?
Good question.
When I dropped that, it was I felt like I was being disrespected or mocked. So I dropped it because I felt like that was just something that people perceived me as, and my head wasn't in the right place. So it's actually something that a name that that I actually don't mind. I love the name. I feel like there's not a lot of people named that, so I'm not against it. I just was letting the wrong voices kind of influenced me and convinced me that it was not something that was me. But who am I kidding? You know, like that's who I am. You can just look at me and see that.
All right.
I feel that.
We have another one from Psycho Joe. Who do you feel has the better chance to win the Ignition tournament, Atiba or Briscoe? And who would you rather face?
There you go, champ.
Oh man.
Hot seat
Just
there.
not to ease right into it, but let's just ease into that. You know,
Yeah,
nice and slow.
that's like a coastal or Ronin question right there.
I was just gonna say, man, that's my style of questions right there.
Legit. So, welcome to the show. What are your future plans forever?
Well, my plan is to not lose.
Amen.
Good answer.
But right now, Briscoe's been on fire, and he's been pulling upset after upset, and that can't be denied. And if you just let any slither of confidence, like I wouldn't even say confidence, but overconfidence, take it, he'll just come in and snatch that victory away. And next thing you know, like in a blink of an eye. And Atiba, as you know, like you've seen over the years, he's been the best of the best at RMP. But if I had to face somebody right now or coming up here in after the tournament, it would have to be Atiba, because I think he's not focused. I think he's distracted right now with all the stuff that's going on in his personal life, if you know what I mean. So I would want to face him because I think I would be able to take advantage of his distractions.
All right. Echo goes, Jumby, you keep ducking my challenge. You, me, eating contest.
Those little guys can eat, man. Don't fall into that trap.
Well, guys, like,
I've seen this too many times to fall for it. Okay, I know how much he can eat. I'm not gonna take that challenge.
And then we have Wumby Gumby Jumby.
So what? Like the eating challenge, it depends on how it's defined. If it's like how much you can eat in an hour, yeah, I'm never gonna be great at that, and I'm not a small guy. But if it's how much can be eaten in 24 hours, it takes a lot to beat me in one of those.
Yeah, I'll do that. The 24-hour challenge.
Yeah. So those small guys, their metabolism's fast, so they can eat a lot like as they're going, but then like they're probably not hungry for a while.
That's like I eat like once a day, but I eat everything. What I eat.
Right.
Whatever's there is gone.
Yeah.
Whole pizza, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nami, I eat throughout the day. I don't eat large meals as much as it may not look that way, but I do eat throughout the day a lot. Like
I
like
graze
5 meals a day.
Yeah.
Here, there, you know.
I do 1 or 2 large meals, and then I'm just, hungry throughout the day eating different things. So
No, I open the pantry, I look at the chips, and then I look, it says, 6 chips is a serving. Well, I've had 2 servings figuring out if I want chips.
Yeah. Because you need some munchies while you're grabbing some munchies.
Yeah.
It's
to decide if you want to get something. Yeah.
like
And then
while
there's
I'm making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I am munching on some popcorn that is in the bag that's right next to it, and
Yeah.
such is the way.
And then after you're eating the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you need something on the side of that first of all, and then you need a dessert from it. So you need like some chips and on the side, and then you need like a couple Oreos, for the dessert.
Right.
It's a balance thing. It's all about balance.
Yeah. Why you stuck down 3 or 4 Cokes? Real healthy lunch.
You got a problem when you're using food to get through workouts, which is counterproductive, I think. But yeah,
But you always work harder when you know you got Chinese food after.
the old put the carrot on the stick trick.
Works every time.
Hey, it's food. It's carrot on a stick. There's a reason why that's even a saying.
All right, we have another one from Mr. Fourth Row. Who is Zamore's pick for the World Baseball Classic?
Well, that'd be USA, right? Every time.
Mike Trout finally wins something.
No matter who, I'll just vote. I'm USA guy all the way when it comes to worldly sports. Even soccer, as sad as that is. But I hope
gotten
one day
better.
They win.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to root
They've
for
gotten
them.
better. I've been watching soccer, big soccer fan since I was a little kid too, and they've gotten better. It used to be bad. You didn't watch the American match, but they've gotten better.
Well,
Yeah.
well, you just
It's
look at
easy to
where
like-
they
like
play.
Manchester and all that.
Yeah.
You know, like it's
Mhm.
root for the
You can,
underdog.
you can look at just where the American soccer players play for their club teams now. They're mostly all playing in Europe on high level teams. That's saying something. When 10, 15 years ago they were not. They were playing in
Listen.
the MLS. They were playing in lower level leagues and stuff.
But that was when
Ultimate
MLS was
Equalizer?
brand new.
Yeah.
Ultimate Equalizer. They have the World Cup in January at Foxborough. I want to see them Jamaican guys running around when it's snowing.
I'm sure they train for that.
Mhm.
At least I'd hope so.
Yeah, they got
Alright.
a bobsled team.
Yeah.
You can figure it out.
Let's see.
That's actually going to be very interesting when the World Cup happens. It's going to be in all three countries: Canada, the United States,
In Mexico.
and Mexico. Yeah,
Yeah.
And all three host nations qualify. It's going to be very interesting.
All right, D Hort with another one here. He's making good use of his membership, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Enough about food. Do you think you could go into the running for Charge or RMP Championship Gold while still retaining the Ignition title? Two belt Zamore?
We were going to get into some of these questions in a little while, but let's just get them out there right now.
Well, my mentality right now is take every day one at a time. Because like I said, a few months ago, I did not even think I would have this. So if the cards align and I keep busting my ass, I think that, anything's possible. I think I'll get it. And that is a goal. The goal isn't just to get a title and call it good, be comfortable, but it's to keep pushing forward, to use it as motivation to achieve higher and higher levels within the wrestling world.
Has it potentially crossed your mind that you might cash in the Ignition title and try what Sky Hossman did and try to become the Charge champion?
Well,
Against
it definitely
Remy D?
has, but
Yeah.
it has crossed my mind, but I feel like right now this is not something I would do. I guess at least Remy D. He's like also been on a unstoppable train
Agree.
of success. But I actually would love the day that our worlds collide and we can give everybody a show. But I'm taking one title at a time because the responsibility it takes from having to, twice the work, twice the competition.
And we
I
also
think that's wise. Being the champion of a whole show, the TV show on Thursday nights, a live show, you always have to defend it. You'll always have to. I think that's wise to focus on that and rise your own stock, and then get to that point where you feel when it's time to do it.
Yeah,
That's
and I'm
fine.
being a little realistic with myself. I'm just battling every match and trying to win every match that I face. And if my path eventually crosses with the Charge Championship, I would not be opposed. I'm facing every day head on and never looking back. So that's kind of the goal.
By the way, how's your chest?
Oh yeah, God.
I mean, it's still a little bruised, so it's amazing how long it's taken for the bruising to go away.
Yeah, but kudos to the man that has the balls to go chop for chop with cash flow. Bro, seriously. Mega huge props.
Yeah, like you've ever been hit with a hammer on your sternum?
Damon Ace did that to me one time. Yes.
I was gonna say no, but I've seen Marky get hit with a hammer. Pretty much.
Breathing was like a thing for a month. It was on purpose. I had to focus on it.
Yeah.
You could hear him. He slept at the foot of the bed in our air bed and basement that night, and it was like.
But yeah, no, that was the good stuff right there, man.
Psycho
That was
Joe.
the good stuff.
D Hort and Psycho Joe taking up all the questions here on this chat.
Keep it coming.
If you
Yeah,
had
You asking him.
if you had to pick one person to team with to face La Isla for the tag titles, who would you want to team with? Now there's a third championship in the mix for you, Zamore.
Zamore all belts.
So now that you're a champ, what would you do to get them all? Well, here we go.
Yeah.
Talking about belts or Pokemon?
How do we become belt collector here?
Yeah, let's break down how to corner the market. All right.
That's right. I heard you were
There's
wise in these
definitely-
kind of matters.
There's definitely a lot of people I would consider, but I think, in my opinion, I would mesh the best with Remy, only because I feel like we would understand each other as to where our motivations lie and our fire within to secure a victory. We both kind of have similar backgrounds in that sense, so I think that would be somebody that I would enjoy tagging with. But there's a lot of phenomenal talent that you could almost pick somebody out of a hat, I think, and we would be able to do some damage.
I mean, you haven't talked about David Drake yet. Might as well, since we're on the topic of taking titles.
Yeah, I mean, I've been
Couple of
ever
questions about
since
that old situation.
ever since he's been on this I would say self-motivated path. I haven't really been able to get to him. And I don't think anybody has, so he's on his own mission. So I if our paths cross, it'll definitely be a match. It'll not be any no love lost there. I feel a little bit responsible for his demeanor now. Like, I feel like I did kind of turn my back on him when he needed it the most. So I think there's kind of some animosity there, at least from him, but I would love to sort it out, any issues that we have in the ring. Whatever problems he has with me, book it. That's how I prefer to solve my problems.
Has there been any kind of interaction between you guys? Because we do remember what happened. You kind of told him to go do his own thing and all of that. That was one of the things, honestly. And since you mentioned it, that kind of began to flip his switch into this psychopathic, like, maniac that he is right now. But I don't think you're responsible for that. But has there been any interaction, like, between the two? Like, do you catch him throwing an awkward gaze at you here and there in a locker room?
You were going to say a body around.
Do you just sense him over your shoulder here or there? Because that's what he seems to be doing. He plays shadow games very, very well with people that he tries to mess with. Has there been any of that?
Surprisingly, no. And I feel like maybe that's part of his way of dealing with it or handling it. Is just completely ignore me and pretend as if I'm not there. But there hasn't really been an interaction. I've tried approaching him, but it's like you're talking to a wall. So I feel when the time comes, it'll come.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fret over it.
All right.
You don't have to. You're the champ. You don't have to.
Jet
But
again.
how ironic that you're both champs now.
Yeah.
How ironic.
Jet again. Since we were talking about collecting belts, if you had to challenge Jaden for the NRW title, what?
You know what? I was actually going to ask that question. Just like, hey, we've brought up every other title here, other than the Walkettes. Let's bring up the last one.
Let's get them all.
What kind of match would you like to be in?
Oh.
What's your stipulation?
I personally love the rope match. I like a match where you can't get away. You're only a couple feet away from each other, and you could use the rope or chain as a weapon. So those
When
are my
you and
personal
Boss
ones.
did that fight, was that a year and a half ago? You and
Was
Boss
it-
had that
was
chain match.
Aces Wild in 21, I think.
22.
Yeah, that was quite a bit ago.
Yeah, it was
No,
really,
that was
but
one of
that
my
was
favorite matches.
No, it was
that
21.
was a good match.
It was 21, I'm sure.
Was it 21?
Yeah, 22 was the fall of the week. And that was for the Charged championship, I believe. And Bossy had it.
Yeah, that was definitely one of my favorite matches, and I would not mind doing it again.
See, I'm surprised. If I had to guess what your answer to that would have been a last man standing, so where you can just do destruction, and that's all it is. It's the most destruction possible, and you can handle a lot, you can dish out a lot. I figured that would be more your type of match.
Yeah, and the thing is that would be, but with a rope or a chain match, it's still technically that because I can decide when the match is over.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
can just keep fighting it out, and when I'm satisfied, go and tap the corners and make it in game over.
All right. I think that's the last question in chat for a while. Remember, guys, if you're a member, this show is all you. So if you have any questions, as long as you're a member, you can post it in chat, and we'll gladly read it to Zamore, and Zamore will answer to you.
I do not mind. You can get as personal as you want. You can ask anything about my life, my career, whatever.
So let's start with motivations. I mean, what motivated you to become Zamore? Not as we know it now, just overall. Like, what made you want to step into the ring?
Yeah. So with that is like I talked about on Charged. It's been a lifelong passion of mine, and I got into it when I was a little kid. Stumbled upon Monday Night Raw, and as well as my cousins showing me my first ever wrestling, which was the Hell in a Cell with where Kane debuted. So when I saw that, I was like, "Oh my god!" And then I saw Raw, and I was hooked.
That was a pretty good time to get hooked on wrestling, man. That was some of the best. Yes.
Yeah, I was in it, and it became my life. Like as a kid, like that's all I care to like talk about or listen to and things like that. And in my life, like things have not always been kind of rainbows and sunshine. Like my mom had to work hard, and so I rarely got to see her, and so wrestling was really kind of like my escape from things because things weren't really well. And so as I would watch like The Rock and Chris Jericho, and I would see Mankind, I would tell myself like, wow, if they can like motivate thousands of people in attendance, and like me, like probably the millions watching, and they're like superheroes to me, like they can like come save the day. Like I want to be just like them. I want to also be able to save the day. I want to be able to like, be able to help out.
That's all the right reasons.
With a lot of things that were going on at home. So it was definitely like something that I worked hard for. And life's not always been easy, but wrestling has always been in the back of my mind, and I always knew that like I had to like be a part of it somehow, even if it wasn't in the ring. It was the one thing that really helped me a lot, and so I committed. I decided to look up a school, and I found Rocky Mountain Pro, and now I'm here where I am. And even that journey has not been easy. It's still to this day pretty interesting roller coaster ride. You have your amazing days where you get to perform in like coliseums that you've seen on TV, and then other times it gets hard, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. And so like my main goal now is just if I could affect somebody the way that I feel I was affected, then I've done my job. And so that's kind of my motivation, to work hard and to fight and to win. Because I realize that, we do have a little, we do have influence, we do have power if we just, put ourselves to, like, if we just commit ourselves to whatever, we can influence. So, and that means a lot to me. And I say that because, I come from a world where you're not necessarily uplifted or told that like you could do whatever. So finding out you can do whatever is like the greatest feeling in the world. So, sorry about that.
No,
Affects me sometimes.
you don't need to be sorry, man.
Don't be sorry, bro. No, that's the
No.
good stuff. That's what it is all about right there. Taking something and using it to keep yourself moving forward in a positive direction. And that's smart. Not everybody has that. So a lot of people make other choices. You made a good choice. And nothing good is ever easy.
Yeah.
You know, nothing good that's worth it in the end is ever easy. It's struggle. It's life. It's your own life. It's your business, whatever you're doing. It's nothing good is ever easy. And to prevail in the end is where it's all at. And you're prevailing. That title behind you is proof that you're prevailing.
Mm-hmm.
Being on TV as one of the premier people on the show is prevailing. Winning,
I appreciate
bro.
that. And
winning, dude.
And that's where I guess my character comes from. My what Zamore is if you can see on my gear, it's the split, the duality. You see the graffiti on one side, you see the gold, and you know the white on the other side, to show that like one side is a reminder of where I come from, and I can't forget that, and I can't be ashamed of it. And the other side is what I have accomplished and what I've been able to do, which was, you know, build a life for myself, you know, have this home that I have the business that my wife and I have. And so the character just came out of that kind of duality of ups and downs, you know. There's a lot of, I guess, meaning to it, but that's kind of the gist of where Zamore comes from.
All right, and I think that answers one question in chat as well. How did you come up with your character?
Twister.
But there was a couple before that. What's up, Twister? D-Hort13. This is recently uncharged. Can you go further into depth into what you talked about with Dean?
Yeah. With that, it was just explaining kind of my motivation. Like I said, when I was a little kid, that was my window of happiness. And I didn't really have any friends. I lived in a neighborhood where I was like far away from anybody. So that was kind of my thing. And my mom was, you know, she was a hard worker. She was never there. My parents split when I was very young. So it was just her kind of taking care of everything. And so, yeah, wrestling was kind of like my obsession. And it did come with a lot of ridicule at school and whatnot, but it also did help me a lot in the sense of like, you know, I got into wrestling, amateur wrestling because of it. And I've, you know, got into other sports because of it. But, you know, growing up, because I didn't really have a father figure or leadership, and I don't want to blame any of my mistakes on that. I just feel like maybe if I had somebody to talk to, you know, life could have been a little different. But, you know, I make mistakes and I try so hard to bring in income for my mom and things like that. And so, you know, I did bad things, you know, you know, because I didn't know any better. And I did know better, actually, but I felt that was the easier route. And so I ended up getting in trouble, and eventually went to jail. And that was kind of like a wake-up call for me, because, you know, something like people that were, you know, close to me would say was like, you know, your life is, you know, meant to be that, you know, like you're meant to not prosper. Your only hope is to go to jail, things like that. They didn't have any hope for me. So I was very stubborn and I didn't want to accept that. And I could have, and life could have been different, but I decided to not accept that as my life. And I worked hard and I got myself out of trouble and, you know, worked on many different things in my life that I never thought I would be doing. I did everything from construction to like, to restaurant work, to working in different sectors of government and things like that because of deciding to teach myself computers and things like that. So I know computers pretty well. And then with that, I ended up meeting, my current wife, my only wife. Sorry, I always say current.
Well, that's
But my
important.
wife.
Yeah.
It's very important. Yep.
And we worked hard and we bought a house and we own a business together. So it's been a real hard roller coaster ride for sure. And I always think back to like 10 years ago and I don't even recognize that person.
Right.
Or could even foresee that I'd be here where I am today. But yeah, if that's a lot, I guess if that's, if I described, I guess, that meeting with Dean enough. There's a lot more to it, but like I don't want to take up everybody's time.
No.
That's kind of like the main thing. Yeah.
Nothing good is ever easy, but at the end of the journey, or even towards, as you're going good and things stabilize, you kind of look back at yourself and you realize how much things have changed and for the better. There's still, you're still going to work hard every single day, but you're becoming a better person every single day. That's the real win in life. That's the real win.
So,
And I've always been not always, but like I grew up being an angry person because of how things went in my life, and I learned that I can't just live that way, always like angry all the time about stuff. So I just have to like realize it happened, move on, and keep fighting forward. Because like I said, if somebody that I feel like is not as bright. Like I'm not a bright person. I'm not a very savvy. I wasn't born into anything. If I could figure it out with my dad not being there and all the shit that happened, I feel like there's hope for people. Like they don't have to just accept. If when life is hard, they don't just have to accept it.
all right. Before I get into the next question, because there is a couple still, I do want to make this comment. And put it out there for Zamore to hear. I think you've made a difference in a lot of people's lives. My wife wears your shirt to her work once or twice a month, and all she says is how you're everyone's favorite at work.
That's awesome.
That means a lot.
That is awesome.
Sorry for getting emotional. Yes, I never do, but
No, man,
I've learned to accept the compliments when they come, because it does truly mean a lot to me, and I'm not the best at expressing it, but hearing that kind of stuff makes me want to work that much harder.
All right. So Twisted joined late, but we're gonna ask it anyway. If you take on the Charged champion, who would win, and would you want a special stipulation for it?
If I would take on the Charged champion, who would win?
Who would win, and would you want a special stipulation for it?
Well, it's not like he's going to go, oh, I'm obviously going to lose. Like, who's going to say that?
Obviously, I have to say I'm winning.
Yeah.
And I can't. I'm not one of those people that say like, yeah, I go into every match confident. No, I'm going to win. No, I go into every match with in the back of my mind that anything could happen and I could lose. But at the same time, I'm aware of my abilities, and I know that if I just push hard enough that I could eventually get what I want. So I always have to feel I would win. And just straight up, I don't think that we would need a stipulation. It'd just be mano a mano.
All right. Another one from Jet. If you could only have one match at Madison Square Garden, who would you want to face? That's one
a cool question.
That's one question, and the second question is what kind of match? You're getting a lot of stipulation matches thrown your way here, bud.
Well, Dusty Rhodes would definitely be my number one. If I could wrestle him at his prime, he's one of those guys that you could easily connect with. You can, without ever knowing him, I feel like he's affected me a lot for sure. And anyone that ever talks about him, that's ever got to work with him or talk to him, all say the same thing about what an amazing person he was and how he had a way of getting the best out of people. So if I could, wrestle anybody, it would be Dusty Rhodes. And as far as the stipulation, again, that's difficult because I would just want to wrestle him straight up. No, no
Okay.
reason or excuse to see who's better kind of thing. Just a straight
1 hour Iron Man match, so at least you get an hour.
Yeah, we'll have a 7
That's
style
solid.
length match.
That's solid.
You do the old Rhodes thing with the bull rope match. That's the dusty match, you know.
Yeah,
And that matches up with you. You like that rope strap, type match too. So it kind of.
But typically he likes it because he's the more experienced with the rope. It wouldn't be in this case.
No, but one would learn a lot for sure.
Fact.
Class would be in session.
Yeah.
All right. Another one from Twister here. Do you like being a heel or a face more?
I feel like I'm just being me. And when people don't like me, I feel they just don't understand.
You can
what
be
I'm
very
going
broad
through.
if you want to.
What was that?
I said you can be very broad if you want to.
I'm just saying, I feel like I'm just being myself at any given time. And sometimes I'm just, people just don't agree with my opinion or with my goals. So, and that's fine. But, I just enjoy being me. So whichever way that goes.
That's the most honest answer you could give, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy. I feel like it's easier to be an asshole. Like it's easier to flaunt your I guess push your weight around. But
Well, it's a lot easier to piss everyone off than make everyone happy.
yeah,
That's a
so
fact.
I always take it as a challenge to do what's harder. But at the same time, I'm just being myself. So if they don't agree with something I'm doing, then agree to disagree.
All right. And I believe we have hit a lull in the questions in chat. So, dudes, if you want to keep the conversation going, go right ahead.
All the questions I had in my mind for that's for the most part, but I can come up with something else.
You bring the belt around with you to places? Like when you got to go out and actually do things and you bring it like with you to the supermarket, you bring it with you like to work, like when you actually got to go do like regular human things.
I mean,
You are the champ. It's your right. You can do it. I will.
I have it with me all the time, but there's certain places where it's like, like when you go to a school and there's a sign that says no firearms, I kind of respect that. So I don't want to just bring my title in wherever,
I mean, that would gain a lot of attention. You never know if somebody could get scared at the amount of reflection come. I mean, you are the champ. That's the thing.
Well, he doesn't want to disrupt the entire day. People
Right.
got to work and they'd be all excited.
Sign 800 autographs at the school. Like your hand gets tired after a while. It's going to be rough. I can see, not wanting not all of it. Maybe a little sometimes, though. You should sometimes.
Yeah, but I mean, I do carry it around a lot of places with me.
That's awesome.
So I like to be proud of who be proud that I'm a champ. I don't hide it.
There you go. Should be.
Just
All right.
pumping gas, got it on your shoulder. What's up, everybody?
I would. Damn straight. If I had to go and get a cup of coffee at Cumberland's or wherever gas station I'm at. No, that thing's over my shoulder.
Absolutely.
That thing's over my... Yeah.
All right. We have another one from D-Hood here that just came up. What is happiness to you?
Oh, that's
a deep one.
That's deep.
Yeah, that is hard because it used to be just having the little basic necessities and I'm happy. But then you get those things met and you have to kind of like reevaluate it. But to me now is being able to be of service to people, being able to be there when they need you. And it's shitty to say that because sometimes I'm so busy I can't be there all the time for everything. I tend to it's hard for me to say no sometimes, so I stretch myself thin, but I enjoy it. To me, it's just being able to feel like I am contributing and helping others is as cliche as that sounds, but that to me is happiness, because I've been at lows where I've had absolutely nothing and had to get like I don't even know what to call them, but we couldn't afford presents, so people had to get presents for us. And my mom was always too embarrassed to like want to get toys, so she like made us write down socks and like things like that. So I've had things like that low, and I found joy in it. Like I found joy in just like making hot dogs out of bread and whatever. I don't want to get too deep, but now it's like just being able to give and help others is what makes me happy, because you know I'm at the point where I have like stuff that I enjoy and that I like, and that's no longer my focus. Now I have a son. I have to like think about him, make sure that he lives a good life. But I've like, you know, I've never been part of like I feel like a real family when I was younger, or like a team. So getting to be part of like anything like Rocky Mountain Pro has been more of a family to me than I've ever had in my life. So like just being able to be of service to them is makes me happy. Sorry for the long-winded answer.
All right. Yaden goes stipulation rib eating contest.
Absolutely.
What kind of rib? Wet or dry?
I like dry rib, but
Dry rib?
only because I like to be able to dip. Like if I could have the sauce on the side and I just dip it, boom, easy.
Is that your favorite barbecue too?
Yeah.
And obviously, whatever it would be, the dry rub or the sauce wouldn't be spicy.
Yeah, it can't be spicy.
All right.
And the
let's
meat
see.
has to be good too. It has to like melt in your mouth.
I retain.
All right, we have Mr. Fourth Row checking in here. What's it like being a two-time Ignition champion? Are you the first two-time Ignition champion?
I'm not sure about that.
Somebody double check in
I
chat.
mean, it's like
We need Lucas for that one.
Does it feel different this time with the new feel and style Ignition is?
yeah, it definitely feels like a whole new new ballpark. It's a whole new roster of talent compared to when the last time I had it. So it's definitely, it feels like fresh, like a whole new competition. I feel better, you know, because last time I held it was going through all of that 2020 stuff. So I didn't feel like I had an opportunity to really like showcase it and showcase myself and prove that I really deserved to be called the longest reigning champion. So now I have it now, and now's my opportunity to prove that.
All right. We got 3 back-to-back here, starting with D-Horde here. If you could give past your one piece of advice, what would it be? If you can give one piece of advice, what would it be?
To past you, to younger you.
One
You got a
piece of
DeLorean.
advice.
You can go back in time.
Oh man, I'm getting hit with these hard questions.
What did you expect?
One piece of advice I would tell myself, or is that tell my past me? Is that what it is, or just tell somebody in general?
Past
That's
you.
what it is.
I guess that'd be the same
Past
either way.
Yeah.
Don't trust JK Pop ever.
Facts.
Just tell yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever.
No, and that'll be my whole thing would be when you know, if things may seem like they're shitty and hard, but just don't give up on yourself. Because I don't think I would change my life how it ended up being. So I would just, you know, because I feel like it's made me who I am today. So I would just say, just hang in there, just keep toughing it out. Maybe you know, maybe not mess up college, but other than that, I would just say keep working hard.
All right. There was another question there. That was just only two-time Ignition champ. Bud Bellflower says Johnny may have held the Ignition title twice, but if he didn't, Zamore is the only one.
Oh, I'm sure we'd have heard about it if Casanova had done it.
This is also true.
all over the place. It would have been posted on Instagram. There would be tick marks. There would be calendars. There'd be all kinds of crazy.
Every episode of Ignition would
Timers.
start with a picture of Johnny Casanova, two-time champ.
Oh,
He'd be in chat right now, just typing it every chance he got.
All right. Here's one from the boss man himself. Can you describe your tryout at MPWA and how far you've come?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that try was tough for sure. It was hard. I had not been physically active prior to that for like several years. So I came in it thinking, assuming, the best and getting the worst. But it was tough. I was like, I think like 320 pounds or something. I forget, but I was well over 300 pounds when I tried out. And I honestly didn't even think I would make it too far after that tryout. I woke up the next day and my body was like stiff. I couldn't move it. And I'm like, oh my God, if that's one day, how am I going to do this every day? And so, but I loved, at the end of the day, it's one of those things where like, you may dread walking into it, but you get through it, you tough it out, and you leave wanting more. You walk out like, oh, I feel great. I want to do this more. And so, here we are today. It's been 4 years now, I think. Yeah, I started in October of 2018, I think.
So about,
yeah, so
about 4.5 years then.
Yeah.
So it's been a long journey because I came from a super out of shape body, and now I feel like I can move tremendously better. I'm still big, but I could move a lot better than I could 4 years ago for sure.
Just because you're big doesn't mean you can't move.
True, but if you don't move your body constantly,
that is true.
makes it hard to move. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Next one. And you might want to make sure your wife's not in the room for this one. Who is or was your wrestler crush if you had one?
That was definitely Trish Stratus.
that's solid.
Yeah, I think,
Solid.
Yeah,
I think I was gonna say a large percentage of people that growing up in the Attitude Era, that would probably be the answer.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really just pick one because I had a crush on everybody. So,
The older I get, the more I appreciate Miss Elizabeth.
yeah.
That's true too.
Yeah.
I was young and naive. I liked them all.
Well said, sir. Very well said.
All right. Jet again, Zamore, who is on your wrestling Mount Rushmore?
Ooh. Definitely for
Jet
sure
stole the Johnny
Dusty.
question.
Mankind, just his ability to just have range, different characters, things like that. This is going to be a weird one, but is for different reasons than you might think. But Kane, only because I was like the first wrestler I ever saw, and just that impact he had to draw me in, I have to pick him. And he also has tremendous range. Go from big red monster to the big red manager's assistant.
The corporate machine.
The corporate machine.
And a dentist at first.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah,
he was a dentist. He's done it all.
And a fake Diesel.
Yeah.
He was fake Diesel.
And a mayor.
Now he's a mayor. Yeah, talk about range.
He's done it all, yeah.
Now he's a mayor, choke slamming people in Super Bowl commercials.
All right.
And then basically, and then I would just put the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, just the brothers, just the way they wrestled single and tag team. That was just like, I feel like that was like the example of professional wrestling. Like you look at amateur wrestling and then the next level up, which is what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the promos they would cut too with They could be angry, they could be soft, they could do everything they wanted in a promo and get their point across. They could talk in that slow, like Jake the Snake type of voice, or they could do that 80s style yelling promo. And either way, it was effective.
Yep.
Let's see. We have Johnny Casanova has no belts now, so suck it.
Johnny No Belts.
That is
Johnny
true.
No belts. Beautiful.
Casanova was the first Ignition champion.
Whatever.
Keeping it warm for Zamore, that's all.
Means he also was the first loser of the Ignition Championship.
And then,
Now we know where the mullet came from.
oh, here we go. D-Hawk goes, it's true. Coastal runs his mouth every week. LOL.
I mean,
He's not wrong.
we all kind of do.
I mean,
I got to do some running.
Isn't that kind of the point?
Good choice. A beautiful Canadian woman is Trish. Let's see.
One of the 5 good things to come out of Canada.
I think Kane's re-election slogan was "The fire still burns."
It was.
And then Jet again. How do you feel when you see fans trying to use insider terms?
I don't feel anything about it. I don't really think much about it because there's a lot of terms that's used in multiple industries. So I guess it all depends how they're being used. But for the most part, I don't care. They're just words.
What kind of question was that, Jet?
I think Jet's asking if he can use terms.
Jet wants
Yeah.
to be on the inside. I get where the question comes from.
Can I say
Wants to
those
feel
things?
like a brother. It's cool.
He wants to make sure that works for you, brother.
All right, and
So
I do believe we're at our next lull. Oh, never mind. I lied. D-Hort just came up with
hey,
one.
there's a pretty good question.
What
D-Hort,
is
good
your
one.
favorite era of RMP?
I guess any era where I hold a title.
So
That's
now,
a great answer, dude.
now's a good one.
Good.
The
Good
here
answer.
and now is a pretty damn good answer. That's a great answer.
I was gonna say if you're worried about lulls, don't be too worried. What we're gonna run into in the next handful of minutes when
God.
When
the
Alphabet Soup comes on.
Oh,
when
I
the
forgot about
when the
that.
anti-lull happens.
Oh, what's going on?
They call it the moisturizing hour.
Oh, God.
The 10 or 15 minutes before. Oh,
Joe's asking for
It's
a
fine,
pass.
bring it on.
Yep.
actually, going back in the chat a little bit, Bossman answered D-Hort's question that
Yeah.
Bossman giving you some high praise, Zamore, that you were a wicked good student.
Mhm.
Oh, thank you.
So
That's all I try to be.
Twister goes, Yaden, don't get a heart attack from this. Zamore, if you had an unlimited budget, what kind of pyro would you want in your entrance?
Dude, Pyro. Miss
I've
Pie,
always-
yes.
I've always just loved the Goldberg pyro, just the I don't even know what to call it,
Sparklers?
the sparklers.
You mean the Gilbert, the sparklers?
Yeah,
Like,
but like,
No,
who had it? I forget who it was that had it raining down from the
Christian.
Alberto
I want the
Del Rio.
Christian. Or I want
Yeah.
the Christian, like the entire gold sheet of pyro.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that.
The
would
rainfall,
be-
yeah.
Yeah, that would be
Waterfall,
awesome.
yeah.
That goes
Yeah.
with that larger than life, persona that you
Yeah.
kind of bring. You can have that beautiful like rainfall behind you and just jack.
Zamore needs the pyro that Roman Reigns gets at the outdoor stadiums that goes all the way around the top of the stadium.
Oh,
He'll get that one of these days. He'll get that.
See, I
He'll
was
get that when he'll win a title somewhere one of these days. He'll get
Is
that.
it CenturyLink when RMP invades CenturyLink out there, right? Is that the new Broncos stadium?
It's happening.
Yeah. That's where Milestone will be in 5 or 10 years. Will be
All
CenturyLink.
right.
see. I was thinking you were gonna say. I was thinking you were gonna say more along the lines of like the Kane style, like actual fire coming up, and mentioning
Yeah.
Kane recently. I thought that might be something that you'd be a fan of.
And and I am a fan of that. Like I've always that was a favorite of mine for the longest time is the boom, and then he appears, and then like the drop in the fire at the end of matches, which was like the opposite of like what the Undertaker raised the lights. He brought him down. So like that was that was definitely for sure my favorite. But as I grew older, I realized that I just like the rainfall of gold.
All right, now we got a few here. They're coming. Anything to block Triple I from his alphabet soup. We'll keep on answering these questions.
Keep going. Just keep reading them, man. Just keep reading them.
Who do you believe has had the best theme in wrestling history?
Oh,
Favorite team
that's
entrance?
a very
God, it's so hard not to say the Brood, just for the music.
yeah. There's so many because I love the albums. WWE Volume.
Oh yeah.
Like top
2,
3,
3,
then.
4, whatever.
And you did every one of the entrances in your living room when you were listening to them.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Turn it on, walk out the door. Yeah.
Dude, I do it here at the bowling alley still. I'm 41 years old. You just queue up the jukebox and you come through the front. Absolutely. Of course you do.
Yeah, there's
You
a
never
lot. Like,
grow
I
out of
love
that.
the Broods. I love Canes. Just when I felt like being super dark. I've always loved the Rocks. There was just something about the guitar, the electrifying guitar riffs and things like that.
I love Kurt Angle's music.
Kurt Angle. Yeah, they all were really good. Jack Johnson was not Jack Johnson. Jim Johnson.
Jim Johnson.
Jim Johnson.
Jim
Great
Johnston.
music guy. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot I could choose from for sure. But
Well, then you have Real American, which if you don't sing Real American at the top of your lungs when you hear it, you're not a wrestling
There is not a
when
wrestling
that song
fan
goes up,
alive.
the dun, dun,
Yeah.
I blow up every time.
There is not a wrestling fan alive that has not turned into an air guitar master when they hear that anywhere, dude. You do the Hulk Hogan air guitar.
Yeah, there's too many songs to name, but DX's, there's definitely one that I loved as a kid.
Hogan's
I
had
love
2 of them.
saying to teachers.
The NWO Hogan one was the Jimi Hendrix. That was really good too.
Oh yeah,
It fit.
yeah.
The Wolfpack theme was really good.
Yep.
All right, we have a lot of questions here, but one just popped up that I'm sure is going to be very enticing for the rest of the dudes here. D Hort goes, which dude is your favorite, and why is it Triple I?
Well, he's the most outspoken.
Oh boy, ain't
Oh.
that the truth of truths?
You can get him to do anything. You really can. As long as
$5.
it's not pay for something.
No, like you got to pay him to do it.
He'll do anything.
That's why we're getting this question out of the way
except
now
eat
before he
faster.
shows up.
He
Yeah, he won't eat faster.
He reminds me of the guy that like you're at this party and it's not going that great. It's not really popping off, and then he kicks down the front door, and the whole vibe changes, and all of a sudden the party's like great. That's the vibe I get from him.
He's kind of our Fez from that 70s show.
That's good. That's right.
All right. We all started as fans mostly. Who in RMP do you enjoy watching? And that's coming from one half of your reigning tag champs.
I know you want me to say you.
Anybody
Oh.
but Echo.
Well, there's a
Sorry,
few
Echo. I love
guys,
watching
but-
you, buddy.
There's a few guys, but number one guy for sure is always the boss, Yaden, because he's the most sound guy that I see, like with wrestling, like amateur style, professional style. Like he's even when he's gone a long time without, doing it. Like sometimes he'll go a long streak without matches. He'll still just be able to jump in, and like he never lost a beat. So that's somebody I look up to a little bit as far as like if I can get like crisp and not lose it even when I'm out of shape, then that'll be great.
I love watching two people, Remy D and whoever beats up Steven Ashburn.
Yeah, it can never.
I mean,
discount
whoever-
me either. Jeez.
You could add whoever punches Ryan Justice in the face.
I mean, that's
Well,
one of-
he's just so
that's one of my
punchable.
favorite humans.
All right. We got through that question.
D-Hawk got jokes in the chat here. What the hell is that all about? No, he is not.
Which dude is your favorite and why is Triple I? We already did that one. Apparently, Jet.
The third man.
Apparently, Jet doesn't
He'd be
sing.
the first man.
Apparently, Jet doesn't sing "Real American." Shocker.
No, because he's a fake American.
Well, he's not American.
He sings the Un-Americans.
Yeah, right.
Whatever that.
He sings something in French that we don't understand.
I think.
He's
Just-
the Mountie song.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Just keep putting gravy on French fries, and everything will be fine. You stop doing that, and that's one of the 5 things that's good about Canada.
We will leave you alone if you just keep coming with the poutine. We will leave it
Yeah.
alone. Everything will be fine. We just keep eating the poutine. That's all.
All right, I think.
More Putin and Trish Stratus, less Brian Adams.
I'm trying not to miss any
Accurate.
questions here. I don't think I've missed any that as of yet. So I think we're at a lull. Never mind. Jet decides to come in last second. If you were to pick any wrestling faction to join, what faction would you join, and who would you replace? It's another 2-parter because apparently Jet's going to be the new alphabet soup questionnaire over here.
At least certainly 2 parts with Triple I. It's like I have a 14-part question with an outline.
Well, or Triple I has a 1-part question that takes 45 minutes of him asking it to actually ask it.
Because he's got to describe each word in the sentence.
Yeah, to me it'd be DX only because that was like the biggest faction growing up. Everybody wanted to be DX, and so did I. You know, love saying this to the teachers, to your parents, whoever.
Yeah.
Gotten
How many times did you get
so
the
much
attention
trouble.
for that one? Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
All the time got in trouble for crotch chopping.
Somebody would crotch chop, and then you'd throw too sweet up to them, and then you'd both end up in the detention.
Steve
I mean,
Austin got me so many
it was cooler to do as
detentions.
a kid than the bird.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cool.
You're
If I had to take all the popular, like the main super, like I want to talk mini factions, like I either want to be in Kai and Tai or the Oddities, because I think that'd be fun to party. I want to party with Funaki and Taka Michinoku. Indeed.
The Kurgan's gonna be a good partier too. So yeah, the oddities works.
And what's great is that Golga was Earthquake.
Yeah, John Penta.
Yeah.
And you had Luna.
I think we just blew Marky's mind if he didn't know that. He's now
No.
thinking about Earthquake being Golga, like, whoa.
They were cool because like I don't think I've seen any wrestlers since them like just literally wear the hot thing of pop culture.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, he carried the
Or
giant stuffed
Cartman.
Cartman around, yeah.
Yeah.
like that. I feel like
ICP
doesn't
did their
get
music.
done anymore without like legal issues or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, nobody's like coinciding with pop culture. I guess they're trying to be their own, which is cool.
All right. I think we've hit a wall on questions in chat as of right now. I'm sure as I say that, another one will pop up. So, dudes, you don't have
Oh,
too
that's
much
fine.
longer before the next one comes up. Or before Triple I pops in, which is literally any minute by now.
Oh, we always ask this one. Favorite match? Like all time.
I would say when I won the Ignition Championship for the first time, that was my favorite.
And what's your favorite one to watch?
Of my own or just
No, of all time. Just you want to put a match on.
As a wrestling fan, like when you think of the best matches like you've ever seen, what's one of the first ones pops to your head?
The first one popped to my head was The Rock versus Stone Cold, or not Stone Cold, Mankind. When
Oh, the Royal Rumble with the chair shots.
yeah, with the chair shot.
Oh.
Oof.
But it made
I'll
me
take things you'll never see again.
much more.
Yeah. Other than
Made me
like
feel.
a Game Changer maybe, but
I don't even know if they show the highlights of that anymore.
they show that like short clip where he's swinging and then you hear the hit, but you don't actually see him hitting, and then it goes to him like on the ground. Yeah. Ugh.
Those are pretty hard chair shots, but the JBL chair shot to Eddie Guerrero at Judgment Day might be the hardest chair shot I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, because watching those chair shots is what made me yell at the TV, like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Stop it.
It's worse to watch it now with everything we know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
I'm like, no. Please.
Yeah.
The neck.
Like, oh, this makes a lot of sense right now when you see Mick Foley walking around. Like, oh no.
Oh.
All right, we
Yeah.
have another one in chat from Mr. Fourth Row. Your secret guilty pleasure, like a food, TV show, movie, hobby, etc.
I'd probably say video games. That's really the only thing I'm kind of doing at the moment besides wrestling and, normal stuff. But yeah, video games, I think. It used to be a lot of different things. Like I used to be proud of being the jack of all trades, but then, I realized that you're a master of none. So
That's
for
true.
now, I just
saw
enjoy.
Everything Everywhere All at Once the other night, which by the way is a great movie. But you know what? You're good at not everything. Like you're so good at nothing that you are good. You're so not good at multiple things. You're good.
Yeah, because I've had a lot of jobs where I just I've done, like I said, construction, restaurant stuff, but I never stuck with it long enough to really gain much expertise from, just enough to kind of get the basics down.
I feel like the intro to the Jumbo or the Zamore story is like the beginning of Happy Gilmore, where it shows all of his past jobs.
I honestly didn't like that I had so many jobs in my past, because it was always I was always harped on that, like I had to stick to one thing and get really good at it, and that me getting a new job every year or whatever means that I'm not learning anything. So,
Yeah, but if you're bettering your, the way I look at it is, because I did that. I was like, oh, I can do this. It pays more. It's a better schedule. I'm going there. I'll be happy.
yeah, I always chase what at the end of the day I felt happy with, because it's easy. I feel like, at least in my experience, it was easy to chase jobs that made you money but were miserable. But I see people around me that do that, and I'm like, I don't want to do that.
If
I
you're
don't
going to
wanna
be
have a job
somewhere
that I
8 to
hate.
10 hours a day, why do you want to be miserable?
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to do something.
Look at Marky.
I hate.
Marky, what did you want to do when you were a kid?
I wanted to run a bowling alley.
There you go.
Like sound anybody else. I'm 40 years old and I'm doing the thing for a livelihood that I had as a hobby my whole life. I'm a happy man. Got a good family. I do the thing. I'm a happy man. You do what you want. You do what's best for you. You'll be a happy person in life.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because I've turned down jobs that I would be a cush job and whatnot, but I knew that I would hate it and I would hate myself doing it. So I skipped out. And that's another advice I would give is do what makes you happy, as cliche and as easy as it is to say, but whatever makes you happy, at the end of the day, you'll be able to sleep better at night, even though you're broke.
That's so true. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Things
It's not
though,
making me a rich
as-
man.
Hey, as long as you're warm and you're surrounded by people you love and you have a place to call home,
That's it.
that's Speaking of the American dream,
Started.
Shit. Well, yeah.
he's the son of a tech support brother.
Oh, geez. Moisturization hours commenced.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the lotion for?
Oh,
No. All right, that was a fun show. The views and expressions of Zamore are not those of the dudes and belts, and the questions that he asks are not those as well. Please disregard that.
Well, Mr. Zamore, first of all, it is so great to be in your presence, sir. But to answer your question, the lotion is for many uses: medicinal, personal, emotional,
That's the one that scares me.
physical, and all of the above and more.
All right.
I didn't realize when I roomed with Triple I in Denver, we had to go to Target because although he had 2 bottles of lotion with him, he didn't have face lotion. I didn't realize there were different ones.
I didn't know that. Yeah, we didn't. We had no idea.
Isn't your skin the same everywhere?
Well, Yes, but I use 2 different types of lotions, though. At 3, if you want to get technical, but we won't get into that tonight.
Downstairs lotion, I get it. Let's go.
This was going so good.
Triple I, do you have any questions?
No, we're still
warned you, see.
we still have a question in chat. Chat's priority right now.
Oh God.
Queen goes, "What's your favorite video game?"
Solid question.
Very much.
Way to get the show back on track, bro.
You're welcome.
All right, what's the question?
I just asked the question.
What's
What
your
is
favorite video
your
game?
What's your
favorite video game?
What's your favorite video game?
I guess in the past it was Overwatch, and then before that it was Warcraft. Well, Warcraft, Starcraft, World of Warcraft, basically Blizzard. Not so much now. Now I'm just kind of floating around, trying different things. I'm a big fan of MMORPGs and like RTS games and like games like Civ, like strategy. I like strategizing a lot. But I feel like I haven't really encountered a game that really like sucks me in. When I was younger, I feel like games, whichever one, like you could pick, like there's something about it that pulled you in, story, whatever. These days, it doesn't feel that way. It feels like games are just out there just to take up your time, and that's it. Which I guess originally that's what they're for, but.
Well, I mean, everything's a game of service now. Like everything, you're online, and they want you just to play that. Check in daily, do all your daily missions.
Yeah, it feels like a chore. Whereas before, I miss the old days of like joining your friends and going on an adventure together. Like whether that be like shooting things or playing an RPG or whatever. Now it just feels like I got to get my dailies done, or else I'm gonna feel like I'm behind.
Yep.
So I try not to get too attached to that.
All right. There's another one here. D Hort, who do you least like in Overwatch?
Probably Widow.
Yeah, I'm a big hater of Junkrat mains.
Yeah, I'm a Junkrat guy.
Yeah,
So
well, there you go.
don't like Widow.
Soldier.
I could counter them, but once you reach a certain level where everyone's equally, you can't counter her. Unless you have like hard counters. But yeah.
I believe that is the last question for now, so I would pass it off to the dudes, but I know Triple I just joined us, and I'm sure he has a question, which is separated into multiple questions that he would like to ask Zamores. So, eyes, go right ahead.
Let's get it.
Well, I just want to say a comment before a question, of course. Dude, one of my favorite people, and I don't give a compliment too easily, but I love this dude. I love Zamore. And you become the Ignition champion, finally, about freaking time. My God, you're a freaking monster out there. You're a freaking bulldozer. Oh, the competition. That's what you are. Just plow them all down. Rise to the top. That's what you should be doing. I'm so glad you're doing it now.
Yeah.
God.
Thank you. 'Cause I
Feels
feel that way.
I want to say that forever to you. God. And everyone that was calling you Jumbo earlier, screw them. Your name is Zamore! And you say it with flair and pizzazz as well. God.
Yeah.
No
Why
wonder
couldn't you
why
keep
Zamore
them?
likes him.
Oh,
You're getting the Remy treatment from eyes.
Zamore is one of my favorites. I've always liked Zamore. Always.
Well, that means truly a lot. Especially coming from Triple I, who doesn't seem to be too impressed by much.
No, not really. I mean, I mean, I'm impressed by some. Sometimes I'm not, sometimes I am, but oh yeah. Very, very, very happy and proud of what you've been doing lately.
Well, thank you, sir.
You better never lose that Ignition championship.
Well, just for you, I will.
Is that a threat, dude?
try my
Like-
best.
No, that's like a compliment. Like you better never lose it because that's how good you are right now.
Yeah, that sound like the same compliments that Dons give people, in the mafia. You better not lose that.
I will do my best.
Now your question.
Yeah, my only question I have, because is, and it's not really. How do I phrase this?
Uh-oh.
You're doing it right. You're a champ right now, so I guess I can't really question this, but I'll ask it anyways. I gotta ask, why do you have Bud as your manager? But you're the champ, so I kind of, if it's not broke, why fix it? It's one of those things. So I get it, but why though?
Well, if you haven't noticed, Bud has not been around in quite a while, and had a little talk with him, and I think we decided that it's best that we kind of go our separate ways. I'm on a I guess a specific path going one way, and his goals and his mindset is going a different way. So we decided that it's for the best that I travel solo from here on out.
I admire that. No argument here for me, just when it comes to him. Absolutely not. But what other goals could he have that are different from yours? You went up to championship gold, and you obtained it. You achieved it, and you are the now. You're the present. So what could be different than that right now? As far as goals and visions are concerned.
Well, the biggest goal, at least for me, was to prove to not only myself, but to everybody that I could get the job done without taking shortcuts, without doing it, the old way. I wanted to prove that I did not need the extra to be able to get the job done. So with that, I let Mr. Bellflower know that I can't be a part of his methods, his coaching strategies any longer. I want to be able to do things in a way that I feel better about, that no one can question whether or not I deserve that win, or whether the win was truly out of my own hands, and not out of some. I just don't want my matches to be questioned whether or not I can get the job done.
You see, that was a great. You see, dudes, and everyone else out there, this is why Zamore is one of my favorites. Time Magazine Person of the Year. They come out with someone every year. It's gonna be a competition, a toss up between him and Remy D for 2023. All right, I'm telling you right now.
Fair.
So maybe you guys could split the prize right now. But with the answers like that and championship go around his waist, and then when he's strutting and doing his stuff in the ring week in and week out, no doubt about it, he'll be in the running for Time Magazine Person of the Year.
I know this is Zamore, we're questioning him and interviewing him. But can I interview Triple I for a moment? So
this is weird. Okay,
I get a great question here.
Okay.
So
If
if Zamore were to challenge Remy D for the Charged Championship, who do you think would win?
Oh my God!
Because it's possible. Because
it is very possible.
Because since Zamore is the Ignition champion, if he really wanted to cash that belt in, just like Sky Horseman, he can and get a Charged Championship match.
So who do you think wins?
It's going to be a double draw.
A double draw.
Well, I respect that answer.
Isn't that a pastry made by Drake's? Oh, that's a devil dog.
I haven't downed a devil dog since I was 8 years old, probably. But back to the point here, it'll be a double draw. Yep. I mean, Remy D. You know how I feel about Remy D.
Yeah.
So I get tongue twisted there for a second.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry. You know how I feel about him. But with your new aura about you, Zamore, and the way you've been kicking ass and not giving two pieces of crap and doing it on your own as well, and doing it honorably and really being more aggressive, which I've noticed. I wouldn't want to get in the ring with you. My God, you'd eat me alive. Oh, God. So that's what I mean. It's a toss-up. It's a double draw. It's 50-50. I don't know.
Who would you want to win?
I like them both.
Yeah,
No, what? No, what? Here's one. Know what? I'll spin it. I want them both to win. They both can team up together and challenge Isla for the tag team championship.
No, that wasn't the question. If you had to pick one, who would it be?
Okay, new question, Ice. You have to manage one.
They should both run. They should both run away quickly.
It does not work out well. Marky and I found this out. His strategy is odd.
I would like to manage Zamore, I think, first. Like both. I want to do both, obviously, but
Yeah, I don't know if you have the dancing chops to manage Remy D.
he does have the bright glasses, though.
Got the energy.
The orange fedora and boa too.
I wore the fedora Saturday actually to a birthday party.
Did you really?
But that's serious.
All right. So, official statement from Bud Bellflower. Nothing but respect for Zamore. We just don't agree a little too much.
That sounds like we wish him success on his future endeavors. Sounds like Bud got future endeavored.
And Bud is not, as much as everybody clowns on him, he's not a bad strategist. Okay, I just feel he's better off helping somebody, that needs it. Like Mary Poppins, he's got to take the umbrella and fly off to the next family, whoever that may be.
Spreading horse cockery everywhere.
I do like the wardrobe now. He does wear some sharp suits. I'm glad he got rid of the
He definitely
vests and
dap
the
it
bow
up.
ties and
Yeah,
Definitely dap it up.
I did compliment him on that when I was forced to, so I did, I did recognize that.
I
You
did
were forced
compliment
to.
him when I was forced to.
Yep.
All right.
What a great guy you are, Ice.
Oh,
Absolutely.
in short bursts.
I give out compliments freely as well. Zamore just got a barrage of them for the past 10 minutes. Wasn't forced to then.
Oh, it's hard.
Hey, who got you a thesaurus?
Not me. I'm not paying money for one.
That's a book of words that mean different things. You looked confused. I'm sorry.
No, I know what barrage means. I used to watch wrestling. Well, actually, I've always watched wrestling, but when Wade Barrett was in the Nexus, he used the word barrage, and that's how I knew what it meant.
It was a barrage.
It was a barrage. Yeah. Yep.
All right. We are short of questions over in chat, the membership side of things.
I'll ask another question.
Oh, you got another one?
I'll ask a serious one. Let's say not now, well, you could do now technically, but let's say you were to challenge for the tag team RMP tag team championships against La Isla. Who would your ideal partner be?
Well, I was asked this.
Oh, you were just asking? I'm sorry.
Not.
It was a while
just,
ago.
It was a long time ago. But I said I would, out of everybody on the roster currently, I would not mind teaming up with Remy, just because I feel we would mesh the best. But there's a lot of guys that for sure I feel like we would mesh. So.
Gotcha.
Well, it was very odd to see Triple I's camera just bumped up and down for a second there.
Yeah,
I think like to be a partner with somebody, it's more than just good, or great in-ring chemistry. Is being able to understand where or be able to connect on the outside of the ring as well. Like understand where each other come from, be able to relate. And so I think there's a lot more than just what you can do in the ring together.
Absolutely. Yep, it's a fair point.
Yeah.
Chat's still pretty quiet.
I hope I answered everybody's questions.
I think I did answer a lot of people's questions.
We've had quite a few questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't expect to get even emotional there.
Triple
I
I
don't normally
versus
shed a
Zamore.
tear, I promise, guys.
Triple I versus Zamore.
I don't think
Oh,
so.
I want to watch that match.
I'm in. Yeah. How much?
Can I manage Triple I for that match?
Yeah.
No, get one. Marky and I get two.
All right.
I guess
Well, Marky gets to
Be right
ref
back.
the match.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh.
All right, so you manage him. I'll be on commentary.
Okay, that works.
He just muted himself.
Which one?
Triple I.
Apparently he has to go ticket number 2. So.
Oh.
Apparently, yeah.
Code Brown.
Code Brown times 2.
Code burnt candy corn.
It's okay, it's YouTube. You could take the stream with you. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Don't do that.
No, yeah, please
Don't
don't.
do
No.
that.
Don't tempt him.
I joke.
We would take it as a joke. He might not.
Because that
He's
is
got his MacBook in his hand right
Is
now.
that
He's like,
my-
should I just?
because that, my friends, is ban worthy right there.
Oh, good
Yes,
God,
do
yeah.
Not show
If they don't
yourself
like
on
hot
the
tubs, they definitely ain't gonna like toilets.
No.
restaurant.
So Chad, if you're not active within the next 5 or 10 minutes, I'm assuming that we've answered all your membership questions, and we're gonna be winding the show down.
Oh.
So until then. Oh wait, we have one. What's your favorite kind of candy? We're going back to food, boys. Here we go.
Food.
Oh man, they're all so good.
Yeah, they are.
Probably gummies. It's hard because it changes. I
Me
go
too.
in phases, you know.
Yeah.
Might be a different thing though.
Currently gummies. So
The fair answer, sir. Excellent answer.
I alternate my gummies though. I like to go with the Swedish Fish and then like the Sour Patch Kids. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
kind of some differences in there.
I'm a blue shark.
That's not what you guys thought I was gonna say, was it?
No. Well, we'll talk about that after the show. I like the blue sharks myself. You ever seen them? Like the bag,
Oh, yeah.
blue and white. Oh my God.
The convenience store I used to go to as a kid always had both Sour Patch Kids, the Swedish Fish, and the watermelons all out like in the thing, and they were like loose singles, a penny
It's
a
like
piece.
penny candies.
Yeah, penny a piece. Show up with $1. I want 100 Swedish Fish.
Mhm.
You know, and they fill you
There
with a
were a few stores.
little brown paper bag.
When we were kids, there were still a couple stores like that, little
Yep.
corner stores that
And they
did
just-
that penny candy thing.
They just
Walking
counted them
after
out
school,
2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
50 in quarters that you found in your bedroom when you were cleaning it.
Yeah.
Bag full of cavities, just walking home. It's beautiful.
You
Beautiful.
finish the candy before you get home, and you can't let any of your parents know you bought candy.
You have to, because then your sister would want some. Your mother would
Yeah.
yell at you because you spoiled your dinner. No, you had to eat them all.
If you had $2, because back then, like a bottle of soda was like 85 cents.
Yeah.
And so you get that, like a few bazookas because they were 5 cents a
It
piece.
was a nickel for the gun.
Yeah, and
I
then
wonder
and
why
then
we've all had 4 or 5 teeth pulled. We're all pushing 40 and
yeah,
cavities everywhere.
so you get your bottle of soda, like a handful of bazookas, and then and whatever you had left in change, you just said, "Get me Swedish Fish or Sour Patch Kids."
That's it. That's
And you
it.
I'd say my least favorite candy is weird, but I don't like chocolate as much. I'll still eat it from time to time, but I don't prefer chocolate.
Dude, I'm with you. I'm the same way. I am not a chocolate guy.
I was like that, and I've grown to like chocolate more. I still like the Skittles or like that type of candy more, but I used to not like be like I don't really care for chocolate that much. Like my favorite candy bar was Payday. You know, and no chocolate on it. But now I've grown to like the chocolate a little bit more.
Yeah, like I'll go phases where I do want some chocolate, and it's weird too. Like one thing I forgot to mention as far as like hobbies and stuff is I do enjoy cooking a lot for
I like to cook
myself.
too.
I used to do it at a restaurant, but I don't enjoy like the cooking the same stuff over and over again. But I do enjoy like cooking stuff, especially like making desserts, you know, like which doesn't help my case when you're trying to, you know, worry about your diet and whatnot. But I do like I look at cooking kind of like I guess people say it's like art where you're just experimenting with different things, trying new things out, see if you can come up with something. You know, like there's times where I obviously just make food just because I'm hungry, but there's other times where I really take the time to like look up a really like complex recipe or look up something because you know there's a lot of dishes that I can now make for myself that if you go to a restaurant they charge you like $40 to $50 for, but I can make them myself for like, you know, $15 at home.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like really educate myself in all aspects of cooking because I do like eating, and especially all the good stuff that people normally pay a lot for. So if I can make it myself, for way less, then I'm going to do it for sure.
Yeah, I like cooking too. Half of what I watch is Food Network, so I learn a lot just from watching that. And what I like to do the same thing as you is like look up a fairly complex recipe and see if I can do it. But I also like to try to take that recipe and make it my own too. Like I want to adjust this and adjust that because I think I like it better this way, or I can make it better. But cooking is just fun to me. It's just the cleaning up afterwards I don't like doing.
Yeah, that's what sucks.
Yeah, I cook. Mrs. Coastal bakes. The boys have had Mrs. Coastal's baking. It's
Yes.
quite
We used
good.
to have a rule here that if I do the cooking, my wife would take care of the dishes. But it's lately, not lately, but over the last 5 years, it's become me doing the cooking and the dishes. But it's fine. I don't worry about. I enjoy the cooking part more than anything, so it's enjoyable.
All right. I do have a question.
Yeah.
Do you think Marky Pins will finish a whole medium-sized pineapple pizza? Double pineapple pizza next week.
Double. We're not doing the triple. You are not putting another can of pineapple on top of it. I will order it with extra pineapple. And oh god,
I believe in you, Mark. I think you take it down.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Like I said, I do it.
Is it gonna be? Can you call stipulations on what kind of pizza, or does that just be a normal hand toss pizza?
No, I said I
say
was
it
gonna
tastes-
order because over here, actually, where my bowling alley is, there's not much open for pizza places on a Sunday night. So there's a Domino's down the street, so I'll just get it from a Domino's. But I'll get an extra pineapple Hawaiian pizza, with the ham and everything.
Oh no! If you order it right on the app, you can just do double pineapple.
All right,
I was gonna say, to me at least, if there's no stipulation or rules, I prefer thin crust Hawaiian. That for some reason, that tastes a little bit better because I think what's makes people not like it is the tomato sauce with the pineapple. So thin crust.
Oh, that's why I like it.
much.
It's a weird
Not as
little
much.
combo, yeah.
But,
Like it'll be new to me. I'm very Italian. I grew up very Italian house. We ate pasta 7 days a week and all. So the flavor of pineapple and tomato sauce has never hit my tongue, not once in my entire life. So this is
you
going to
don't
be
even
an
know if you'll-
experience.
you don't even know if you'll like or hate it yet. Huh?
I mean, I've tried. I'm like I said, I'm not that huge on pineapple. I've taken little bites of Hawaiian and been like, nah, I don't want this, and kind of spat it. It was a very long time ago, but never have I sat there with the knowing
pineapple
ability that
matters,
I had
too.
no chat. Huh?
So the pineapple matters because
You
I've
can't do
tried
the big
pineapple. That is
rings
like
of pineapple.
I've had pineapple that tastes like super sour, and it just throws off the whole thing. But there's some pineapple that's, I guess you let it ripen a little bit more, and it
It
gets
has
a
to
little
sit
sweeter.
ripe for like a
Yeah.
long time, and then it's
Yeah.
at its best. It's sweet, much like a banana. Oops.
Yeah.
Like the more ripe it gets, the sweeter it kind of gets.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
I
I
think
don't have
some
to-
people just try they just put whatever pineapple in it. Sometimes it's not the ripened one, and it just throws off the taste.
And it's going to
That's
be
another thing,
Domino's, so we're not talking about top
Yeah.
quality dole over
it's
there.
canned pineapple.
If I was
I
down
mean-
there, Marky, I'd make you a pie.
That's all right. I need the fastest ability to get through this as humanly possible. I just need to get one here and just look at it, hold my nose, and just eat it.
You need,
You're gonna say
you need the
goodbye,
fast
like-
food version of it. That's probably the easiest to get down.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't want anybody to go through if we were
a
making
gourmet.
good burgers at home and everything. No, right now I just need the greasy McDonald's. Just let me eat it and just get out of here. We're gonna just do a fast Domino's, and I will eat it, but no promise I may not puke it back up on stream. I'll just keep a
You're
trash
not
bag like over here.
gonna
So.
puke it.
Oh, it's
You're gonna
pineapple.
take
It's
one bite,
Hawaiian.
and you're gonna be like, "This is not bad."
That's the other 50% of the possibility too. But I'm just hanging on the fact that I haven't liked a Hawaiian pizza in a long time. So
Don't
I'm doing
set
it for the
yourself up
meme.
for failure.
You know who I?
Doing it
You know
for
we
the
talked
memes,
about
I'm still doing it.
eating contests earlier, and talking about pizza made me think of this guy. If Echo wants some competition, we should bring McGinty out.
Ooh.
Oh.
We know a guy that can eat.
who's in that like smaller guy range. He's not short. He's 6 feet tall or whatever, but he's a skinny kid, and he could eat probably about like 2 or 3 large pizzas by himself in a sitting.
Yeah.
And not care about it.
He eats a 16-inch 3-topping pizza by himself at bowling. Like that's his dinner.
Yeah.
Like I could do that over a long period of time. I couldn't do it.
He does it about what, 25 minutes?
Damn.
About a string and a half of bowling.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Like that's the thing. I've always been a big guy, but I've never understood how to eat a lot at once. You know, I just eat throughout the day because I would.
My
eat, like,
problem is I like drinks too much. So like I'll eat, take a big drink. Take a big drink. Like
Yeah, I do the same.
fills it
I
up.
like to drink a lot.
When I was like 15, 16, 17, I could eat a ton in one sitting, but
I just don't like the way I feel in the morning. Not like from the quality of the food, like the heartburn and the terrible way your body feels in the morning when you get past 35.
Yeah, I miss the old days where you would just not get a heartburn when you ate.
Yeah.
I took it for granted when I was little. The worst I would get was just like a little bit of a hot,
Yeah.
and now
An
it
iron
hits me every
stomach. Yeah.
time. Yeah, now it hits me every time.
Now it's like, hey, it's wing night. All right, cool. We're gonna take our Pepsid before we go. That whole thing of Tums. Once you hit 35, it's required that you have Tums in every room of your house.
It is yes.
Oh man.
A bottle right there, one in the truck, one at the
All right.
house.
That was the last question. Because there seems to be nobody else in chat that has any questions, which I don't blame them. We've gone through a lot of questions today.
We went from foods and belts to geriatrics and belts.
Yeah, I felt like I got a lot off my chest today.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
So,
You let us in, bro, for a little while. That was really cool. You elaborated on the interview that we all saw. You kind of let us into who Zamore really is, dude. And that.
Yeah.
Thanks for the insight. Thanks for the peek. Look forward to keep watching you kicking ass and holding on to that title for a long time to come.
That's right.
Will
yes.
we see you now? Little question. Will we see you ringside for this week's Ignition #1 contenders match for the finals of the Grand Prix?
Well, I
Will
don't know
we see
about
you?
ringside, but
Oh, to come out and do some commentary.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be watching. It's definitely a very important match for me to see the outcome of it because it will let me know how I need to train, what to prepare for. But I'll definitely be watching for sure.
All
Rooting
right.
for both of
Yep.
them.
Do you have a preference of who you face?
Right now I prefer if it could go my way, I would prefer to face Atiba because I feel he's a little bit more distracted right now. He's not on his A game, and I don't mind taking advantage of that distraction. So if it's gonna help me, if it's gonna give me any little bit of an advantage, it's fine. Atiba, I don't feel he's focused right now. His mind is elsewhere, and I feel like that would help me, secure a W easier. Whereas Briscoe, I don't know how he's pulling it off, but he keeps pulling off upset after upset.
You can't beat him in March, man. I'm
Despite-
telling you. You can't beat him in March.
Despite his knees, his ankles, everything, he still somehow finds a way to pick himself up.
Dude, people have
that's-
turned his left leg into jello in these last few weeks worth of matches, man, and he's still finding ways to win.
Yeah, so with that, I don't want to allow for any change. That'd be a formidable opponent. Like, whichever way it goes, I'm 100% for it. But if I could have that slightly bit of an advantage, I think I'll take Atiba.
Can't say I disagree with you,
Yeah.
All right. With that being said, we have something to look forward to on Thursday. Zamore definitely has something to look forward to on Thursday. That's for sure.
Yep.
We're going to wrap up the show tonight. We appreciate everybody who joined in on the first members-only chat stream here. We greatly appreciate your support as always. And we're going to be doing this every month. And this is a thank you for everybody who has joined as a member and paid their hard-earned money to support what we do here on this channel. So this is why we're doing all these things for our members only. So we greatly appreciate everybody who has turned in tonight. And for everybody in the public who is watching this show live that wasn't able to participate in the chat tonight, we will be doing this once a month. So the option is always open for you to join and be a supporter of RMP. not only do you get shows like this, but you also get priority Q&As on our Sunday show on the Rewind, and you get priority chat for commentary on Ignition. So those are the perks for becoming a member. We are going to be adding another tier soon. We'll let you know when that becomes available to you guys. But just know that there's going to be another tier that's going to be a little bit more expensive, but you're going to get more stuff on top of your tier 1. And other than that, we got a busy week. Tuesday's Charged, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And Ignition, the finals of the Grand Prix tournament, will be on Thursday. That show starts at 6:15 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And after both of those shows, you will get the Dudes and Belts recharged and reignited as we analyze everything that happened this week with the crew here. And I think we are about ready to sign off for the evening. Yeah, see you later, Queen. Have a good night. As far as everybody else, we thank you so much. Zamore, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We greatly
Very much
appreciate
so.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks, champ.
Thank you.
Thanks for stopping in,
Thanks,
answering
man.
some questions for us.
For everybody here on the Dudes and Belts crew here, myself, Johnny Deathdrop, Coast Crusader, Marky Pins, Sunday Night Savior, and Triple I. We will see you guys on Tuesday for another episode of Dudes and Belts Recharged. As always, folks, stay safe, stay classy, and we'll see you.